Russell.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, mate.
How you doing, man?
All right, a bit knackered.
You excited to be on the show today?
Yeah, I am, you know, yeah. I'm sort of a little bit nervous, but excited and all.
Nervous? Why are you nervous?
Well, because, like, you know, cause sometimes I'm used to being in environments I'm in control of, like just sitting gently in the back of a car, or perhaps at a city farm experience, talking to calves.
Gotcha. But, so what are you going to be talking about today?
I don't know, because I'll be led by the questions, won't I? I'll just be responsive.
So you're going to let Howard take full control?
Yeah, I think that's the only way to respond in a situation like that, right?
Yeah, pretty much. All right,
Not
man.
with sort of limp, flaccid passivity, like a cadaver, but more like, you know, not a floundering, overly twitchy individual either.
So you'll feel it out?
Yeah, I think I'll just be, you know, sort of polite, like if I was a guest at perhaps your home.
Yeah.
If you was kind enough to invite me round, I wouldn't start saying, yeah, what's on the telly? I'd just like, you know, go with the flow.
Cool. All right, man. Well, have fun in there today.
Thank you very much. Is that light necessary with all this illumination?
Yeah, because the lights up top, they'll throw shadows down.
And then I'd look
this.
haunting and gaunt.
Yes. You look much better like this.
Yeah? Can you flip me over? Because I'll tell you
Yeah.
what. Oh, no.
Not bad, right?
I see what you're doing. Fair enough.
All right, man. We'll see you in there.
Cheers, mate. See you in a bit.
All right, Russell Brand is a British guy. He was just in the movie Sarah Marshall, Finding Sarah Marshall, or Getting Over Sarah Marshall. I just saw it. It was really good. He was a host of the VMA Awards, and he's from England. His movie career is kind of taken off, and he's a wild
There he
character.
is.
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. What's happening, man? Enjoyed you in that movie.
Did you, mate? Thank you, Howard. Cheers.
Sarah Marshall.
That was the one, yeah.
Yeah. That was good. Good job.
Thank you. I was trying my hardest.
Yeah, and you're hosting the Video Music Awards again.
Oh, I don't know about that. That's not been confirmed in any real way.
It hasn't?
Oh,
thought
I was
it
going to say, are you serious?
I don't know. Did you? And I was shocked to read about you that did you come up through radio?
I did. I'm a stand-up comedian primarily,
All right.
but I did do a lot of radio also.
But you had a tough childhood. Your mom was sick your entire childhood, 3 bouts of cancer, and
Yeah.
you were molested as a kid.
There was all sorts of rhubarb went on. Yeah, there was a lot of trauma and hullabaloo, but in the end I laughed my way out of it.
Who molested you? A family member?
No, good lord, no, they were a lovely bunch. No, you know, Christmases were a bit tough, but it was never, you know, molestation would be a harsh way to describe it.
No, but that's a very traumatic thing. You don't think that it's funny. I mean, it
Well,
was...
yeah, but like, I sort of think once you've got an option of how to respond to something like that, you could, like, I sort of think, oh, you might as well have a bit of a chuckle about it, otherwise it becomes relentless and
No, I understand
destroys
that,
you.
but when you described what was it, a neighbor
How
or
old
something?
were you?
Yeah, about 7. Some neighbour got involved. What it was is he tried to sort of play it like it was a reward system for like having responded well to some information about arithmetic. He tried to pass it off like it was like a
This
it
is
was
what you
commendable.
get when you do a
In
good
other
job.
words,
Yes.
your neighbor would say to you, gee, you know, I have something special for you because you're a good little boy.
Because you're doing well.
You're doing well in school and this and that, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you a treat. I'm going to stick my hand up your ass.
Not the entire hand, but certainly a digit. But nonetheless, that is no reward system. It didn't encourage me. I'm terrible at maths now.
Let me reenact it. In other words,
I don't want to reenact it,
what's
Howard.
8 times?
It was awful. It was bad enough the
What's
first
8
time.
times 7?
Ah! No, don't touch me! I'll do whatever you say.
No, but that is traumatic. I mean, you were a young kid. Your parents couldn't protect you. You didn't go to them. And a neighbor, a much older neighbor, I would imagine. Was
Yeah, he was like an old man. If it had been one of my peers, that would have been a date. You can't call that abuse. That's just good harmless fun.
But you, and he would jerk you off, I guess, and suck the penis?
No. These were never that elaborate because I think this man, in his heart of hearts, knew that I, as a 7-year-old boy, could not be a marital partner and that spousal duties were always limited to. So, like, what it would be is to go, oh, well done, you've done very well with that mathematical problem. And to commend you, and then his hand would go down the back of my shorts and like sort of cup my nuts, and then there would be occasional digital insertion. But that was only that was normally for algebra.
Right.
These are in tough situations.
Yeah, when you're working through a problem.
Right, very much. I can smile about it now, but at the time it was terrible.
Do you think that you're kind of legendary from what I've read about you, that you've been with thousands of women? Thousands literally.
Are you just trying to prove something?
Do you think that... no,
I don't think so. I don't think it's sort of like because I'm no good at maths.
But wait, Russell, is it because you think... Hey, you know, here a guy, in a way, I've talked to other guys who have been molested or something's happened to them with other men, and their whole lives they're trying to prove, in a sense, hey, I'm not gay, I love women, there's no way, you know, they almost think they brought it, you know what I mean? Maybe this is a reaction
I don't think
to it.
so, because I don't think that it was defined by gender. I think it was generational. I think that the women thing is affirmation of a type of masculinity. I think, like, you know, I think there's an element of that, but also just, like, it's difficult because I'm an analytical person, but I think some of the sex stuff is just biological imperative because it's such fun. Then there's the cultural, like, masculinity through sex, and then I've got addictive tendencies.
But older people have always been into you. I mean, in other words, you lost your virginity to a 61-year-old woman, right?
What?
Hold on, now look, you're making me come across as some sort of charity for the elderly.
No, wait, come on. Weren't you sort of taken advantage of by adults?
Really?
How old were you when you banged a 61-year-old woman?
When I was about 19, there was a romantic liaison with a lady that was a little bit older, but that was
61.
Well,
Not
that was,
a little bit older. I
she,
mean,
no, she wasn't 61. I think she was probably in her 50s, and I certainly wouldn't class that as abuse. That was just when dates go wrong.
I don't say abuse. I'm just saying that it's a weird. Did you lose your virginity to her or no?
No. I'd already lost my virginity to some prostitutes in Hong Kong when I was 16.
That's a weird thing too.
That is unusual.
Your mom had already died, I guess, right?
And no. My mum lives
still
on.
alive.
She thrives.
And your dad took you to visit prostitutes in Thailand.
Yeah, I mean, that's not how the holiday was sold. It was much more, let's get to know each other. But what we did get to know was the world of illicit
Did you think
sex.
it was weird that your father was bringing you to a prostitute? I mean, he's married to your mother. Is
Did
he still...
No, they split up when I was born.
Oh,
they split up, my parents split up when I was born. I had a sort of sporadic relationship with my father.
So he said, look, let me get to know you. I'll take you to Thailand.
Let's see your moves.
He went with you and your brother.
No, just me. There's just me. There's no other children.
Okay. And you go to Thailand with your dad, who you kind of know, you haven't had a close relationship with, and he takes you to a brothel. He takes you to see hookers.
Yeah.
And you're fucking hookers with your dad in the room?
That is an accurate portrayal of events.
Wow.
Yeah, that was
you don't
unusual.
think that screwed your head up?
Well, who's to say? I mean, it's difficult because I've got no frame of reference.
you were able to perform with your father watching.
I must say that sometimes it was tricky on accounts of, as I said, because fathers generally have quite well endowed.
Yes.
Not only that, there's a pigmental difference. They tend to have a darker coloured genital region. I've noticed the father I noticed this as a young boy. They're much browner in the genital department. It was off-putting, but you know the main thing was I was like 16 and there was naked women, so it was very alluring.
Where do you go? You go to a house of prostitution in Thailand?
No, it starts off, Howard, like you go into like a bar and there's just women dancing in swimsuits. And I was 16, so I was overwhelmed by bloody hell. There's women in swimsuits. There's women in swimsuits.
Are they hot?
Yeah, all right, mate. Like sort of beautiful Asian women. Yeah, they were lovely. Right, and then what happens is the women come over and start talking to you, and that was exciting. So I was 16, I'd just been normal school, I didn't have any birds before that. Then the women come back to the hotel every stage. I'm excited, and then it becomes actual sex. But I sort of initially did fall in love with a prostitute. I have to leave now before I fall in love with you, she said, about 4 o'clock in the morning. There was some difficulty getting an erection, probably because my dad was there.
Wow.
That may have been a contributory factor.
Sex too.
He had 2 of them, but then he was my dad.
So you're in the room with your dad.
There, yes.
And he's banging 2 prostitutes in front of you. And
yeah,
you're seeing
beside me, right beside me.
And you're seeing his penis and...
Saw his genitals. But like, that wasn't disturbing.
Was that weird?
What was tough, Howard, right, is like this, to hear sex talk from, you know, another person, any other person's not nice.
See, I think you're making it a routine at this point, but this is your real life.
It's still
Russell,
a routine.
Wait a second. Stop all of this. This is a major thing.
I don't know.
Your dad is banging prostitutes in a room with you. Later on, you become a heroin addict.
That did happen, yes.
Yes, for 11 years you suffered.
4 years. 4 years of heroin addiction, but like other drugs, yeah, about 11 years, yeah.
And it could have ruined your life. You could have died. You could have, you overcame it, I guess. You're on the wagon,
yes,
right?
6 years.
Congratulations.
Cheers.
But it is very difficult. Don't you think all of this frenzy, carrying on with thousands of women and heroin and all of it, is a reaction to this bizarre child. This is a bizarre childhood, isn't it?
Well, yes, some of it was quite bizarre, but like everyone was trying their best, and who knows what it'd have turned out like. It's worked out sort of all right, really. I mean, undoubtedly.
Has it? Are you? I mean, to go through heroin use and all of that. I mean, has it really worked out okay?
he's talking about on the other side now.
On the other side now, 6 years clean, everything's all right.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
How'd
having
you
a
get
nice
clean?
time.
Yeah,
I had to go into rehab.
You
3
did?
months, yeah. 3 months.
Tell
yeah, 3
Artie
months
he
in
has
rehab.
to go away for 3 months.
I've been clean for 3 months.
Artie, one day at a time, mate. Good, best of luck with it all.
Thank you. No, I mean,
nasty business.
It is. How do you get into heroin? I mean, that's a dangerous thing. That's a hardcore drug.
With me, it was a very cliched descent into addiction. Started off like just smoking pot a lot and drinking a lot of booze, and then like that stopped doing the job. I wanted oblivion, just to obliterate all thought, just to blanket out all awareness, and eventually heroin is the one job that does that. It smashes you into a womb, a loss of thought, absolute nothingness, a brown, comfortable blanket of nothingness.
Would you snort it or shoot it?
No. In the UK, it's very fashionable to smoke it off of foil with crack, which is the way that I used it.
I see. And you